Live from the Las Vegas Strip studio in Las Vegas, Nevada. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. I'm Brad Stein. Welcome to Bettor Center Live. You can watch us daily, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on LouieDiamond.com. Also, YouTube at Louie Diamond. 3 pro handicappers today to help make us money from all over the globe. Today, we're going to talk NBA, Major League Baseball, and of course, a little bit later, the most interesting play of the day. Let's not waste any time. Let's welcome the 3 resident handicappers back to the show. Ross, Louie D, and Dell. Welcome back, gentlemen.
Morning, guys.
All right, guys, let's start with Louie D. What did you learn yesterday?
What did I learn yesterday? I learned that we had some technical issues to get out aligners to you. But I think yesterday in the football games, it kind of went the way I expected them. So I felt that Pittsburgh was going to come out and handle the game. They did that. Game went under. I had a great day yesterday. Had some great winners and actually had a nice teaser opened up with Pittsburgh going into Thursday night with the Bengals, followed by the Arizona Cardinals, which I'll be keying on a teaser all week long. We'll get to that a little bit later. But I learned that right now things are going the way I expected them to, which is a good thing.
A really good thing. All right, Ross, what did you learn from yesterday?
Well, I went 2-0 yesterday, Brad, on the NFL. I agreed with Dell. I had the under in the New York Giants game, which got a little hairy there at the end. But also I had the Denver Broncos plus the 3. Thank God for Steven Gostkowski. You know, guys, Bill Belichick just has this inept ability to know when to get rid of a player. When he sees their value far exceeds where they are at the point of their career. Steven Gostkowski, 0 for 3 on field goals, 1 for 4 on field goals, and missed an extra point beside. I mean, that should have been an easy Tennessee cover, but you know what? A winner is a winner is a winner, guys.
Chicken dinner, baby.
Oh, yeah. Winner, chicken dinner. Congratulations. 2-0 for Ross. And that leaves Dell Warfield. What did you learn from yesterday? Dell?
Yeah, I think the audio's gone there, Brad.
All right, let's move on to some games. We'll start with game number 1. That's the Heat at the Celtics. Celtics minus 1.5, over under 209.5. Ross, what are your thoughts on NBA playoffs? Game number 1.
Really tough call. Man, is this an intriguing matchup, this series?
Oh, yeah.
And you're pretty even. And you look at the line in game 1, and it's virtually a pick-em game. I'm not going to have a play on this game, and the other 2 gentlemen probably will. So I'm going to defer to them because I really believe if you put the proverbial gun to my head, there's something about the way Miami is playing right now and the way they've opened series so successfully that would make me tend to lean their way, but I'm not ready to make a definitive call on that game. I'd be interested to hear what the other 2 gentlemen have on this game.
2 very good teams, pretty close, great coaching. Should be a good one. Louie D, any thoughts for game number 1?
Well, yeah, I definitely I got some thoughts here. I mean, I've been on Boston since our off preview, so I'd hate to get off of the Boston train right now, but boy, am I worried about the Boston train because they really have a great opponent here in the Heat who have been pretty dominant throughout the playoffs, but as dominant as they have been, why is Boston the 1.5 point favorite right now? I think it's looking a little bit, they're begging you to play Miami a little bit here. So I'm going to ride my Celtics train a little bit, but I'm really going to focus on this game on the under. Boston has just been a dead under team, 8 out of the last 9 games in the playoffs, straight unders. These 2 teams, when they have played the last 4 under, So I think the under's really the edge here tonight, and you want to kind of get them in early. It's probably the edge throughout the series. I think you're going to have a defensive series, and they're probably going to get steamed under throughout the series. So I'd say if you're going to be playing the under, get on them as soon as the game ends tonight and the line comes out again tomorrow. Under.
Two teams that really get after you defensively. Good call, very good coaching. And Boston has a plethora of scoring. Dell, what play are you going to do?
Hi there. So for this play,
Hi.
I'm actually leaning Heat here. I do like the Heat. It opened up at 1.5. It's up to 2 now for Boston. But that money line, it opened up at plus 111 for the Heat, and it moved down to plus 108. Kind of opposite of Louie. I know that he's been on the Celtics, but I've been on the opposite side. I've been on Miami since before the season even started. I got them at 101 odds to win the championship before they signed Jimmy Butler.
Woo!
So I am cheering for Miami. I
I'm
need them
sure
to take game number 1. Yeah, so I like Miami here. I like that money line going from plus 111 to plus 108, even with the spread moving up. I got to take Miami here with my heart and a little bit with my gut, but I'm going Miami.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, you're a Heat homer. You put money on the Heat before Jimmy Butler was signed. That's pretty evident right there. Let's move to game number 2, also NBA playoffs. This is the big game number 7. The Nuggets were down 3-1. Here's game 7 at the Clippers, minus 7.5 with a 207.5 over under. We will start with you, Dell, since you were so hot on game number 1.
Yep. So I've been saying this the whole series. Nuggets match up really well against the Clippers. I'm kind of shocked that they went down 3-1. I was expecting it to be a little bit closer, maybe 2-2, but they have showed a lot of heart, a lot of fight to get back in this series. For the storyline, you kind of expect it to be Lakers and Clippers in the championship. The ratings are down. You assume that the Clippers are going to win, but I love the Nuggets here. I mean, the plus 7.5 looks really good. Public's on the Nuggets too as well. I think about 60% of the bets are currently on the Nuggets, so it's a really hard bet to make. I'm just going to be cheering for the Nuggets here. I don't think I could actually pull the trigger on it. But yeah, I lean Nuggets, but I'm staying away.
Ross, you've had 6 games to watch the Nuggets and the Clippers. 7.5 points. Is that too much to give? Are you taking Denver here?
It's almost like they're begging you to take Denver. I can't go against a team that in the first 2 series of the playoffs are 5-0 straight up in ATS when facing elimination. And that's what Denver is. I mean, they were down 3-1 in their first series against Utah. They come back and win 3 straight and cover on each occasion. They were down 3-1 against the Clippers. And in game 5 and 6, they win and cover. So it's tough for me to fade Denver. And it's also, I just don't like the public action favoring them so much. I agree with Dell on that point. What I would be looking at, guys, is the total in this game. I mentioned this in the last series, the first round of the playoffs. Game 7s typically, historically, have gone under the total, more times than not. That would be the direction I'm going to look at. Going to look for a reason to use the under in this game. And I'm not going to rule out using Denver plus the points, but at this particular moment in time, I don't have a definitive decision on that. So I would be more inclined to take the under in this game, Brad.
Bag of diamonds. What do you have for us?
Almost the same thing as Ross, but I'm a little more solid of a play here for me. And the under, game 7. It's always a lean. It's always the way to the original line movement will go. Opened up at 211.5. Now it's down to as low as 207.5, but you can still get 208.5. Still think there's value within that under, and it's real easy why. These 2 teams have yet to play over in this series, number 1. 41-18-2 to the under the last 61 times that they've played. And I don't know how you could not be on this under. Now you got a game 7 to boot. So under's got to be the only way to roll, even if you're down to the low number and you're behind the 8 ball. So, but keep that in mind, guys. That game 7 comes out, bet the under. If I had a ton of money on the under, 211.5, I'm coming back with a half a ton on the over at 207. Yeah. Things to think about, guys. Absolutely.
Yeah. Lots of things to think about. I'm going to enjoy that game. We're going to move to Major League Baseball, the Diamond. Game number 6. We're going to skip around here. The Royals at the Tigers. Tigers minus 110, over under came in at 9. Ross, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I wasn't prepared to talk about this game, but the Royals and the Tigers under 9. Well, look, the Royals have been playing much better of late. You never know with Detroit. It seems like they're either real good or real bad. So this is a game I'm going to take a pass on. I'm going to defer to the other two gentlemen.
All right, Dell W., I know you have some thoughts on this game. Big Tigers guy.
Maybe not a Tigers guy, but yeah, I do love this game. Royals versus Tigers. I have this game going under 8.5. I love the pitchers here in this matchup, Duffy and Boyd. I look at games overnight too, and I saw it last night. The line was at 9. This morning when I looked at it, it's down to 8.5. About 60% of the bets are on the over. I just really like this under. I like the good pitchers. I think Duff is a good ground ball pitcher. He can get double plays, get out of innings. Boyd, on the other hand, he's had a really rough season, but he's still a really good pitcher. So I mean, I'm kind of fade the fact that he's having a bad year and go with the under here, under 8.5 for Royals versus Tigers.
Louie D., I know you have something to add to this game.
Well, I got a little something to add. I mean, the Royals right now are catching some fire, so 6 straight winners. So I got to put a nice little edge on a team that's hot like this. And, the under, I got to agree with Dell here. 4 straight unders for the Royals when they're facing a left-handed pitcher. So I'll definitely lean with him on the under, and I'll have to lean the city as the hot team right now to get the win here tonight.
All right, that moves us to game number 3. Major League Baseball still. The Blue Jays at Ross's Yankees minus 160, 9.5. Was the over under. Walker and Garcia are on the mound. I know you have thoughts on this one, Ross.
If it was Ross's Yankees, I wouldn't be sitting here with you guys because I'd be a billionaire. But unfortunately, I'm not the owner of the Yankees, just a fan. Anyway, look, T.Juan Walker has pitched really, really good since coming over in that trade from Seattle to Toronto. And the Yankees playing really good right now. They've been feasting on a weaker competition, but Toronto certainly doesn't qualify in that regard. So I'm going to have, the underdogs have not done real well this year. And I'm not going to use this game, but if I had a lean here, I would take the Blue Jays at money line odds of plus 140 with Walker on the mound over Garcia.
Louie D., what do you have for us?
Well, it's tough to be back the Blue Jays when they're playing the Yankees because the last 81 times that they've played, the Yankees had the best of them, 55 of the 81. So that's a strong number, 55 and 26 against them. So I got to definitely give the edge, obviously, with that to the Yankees right now, and they're starting to come back to life a little bit. So, but the Blue Jays 4-1 their last 5 road games. So when 5-2, their last 7 overall. So they're not doing poorly, but I'd have to give the edge to the Yankees, but I would only tie them up in a parlay or something like that. Nothing big there.
All right, Dell W.
Yeah, so it's kind of, you got to ride with the guy that's fading his own team, right? Ross's Yankees, and he's going to be going against his own team. I got to lean with him there. I think, like he said, Walker's having a pretty decent year. As far as the other side, Garcia, he's been like kind of in and out of the rotation. I mean, I'm not going to be placing this bet, but if I was going to pick a side, I would roll with, Ross's Yankees, Blue Jays.
And gentlemen, that brings us to the most interesting play of the day. And let's go to Ross.
Well, it comes in the Dodgers in the Padres game. Real good matchup here. San Diego at 31-17, by far the best second place team in the National League, maybe all of baseball. I mean, the only reason why they're in second is the Dodgers are in the same division. Tony Gonsolin has pitched very, very well for the Dodgers. He flies under the radar because of all the stars they have on the starting rotation. But boy, oh boy, you look at his numbers, and they've been pretty darn good this year. And Zach Davies has just been excellent, the veteran right-hander for the San Diego Padres. I know this is a low under or low total when you take a look at how both teams have a propensity to hit home runs. As a matter of fact, this is the top two teams in the National League as far as home runs hit. But, you know, I like this starting pitching matchup, and I think that we're going to see this game. I got to lean toward the under 8.5 here. I'll make I might use this as a pay selection, guys, but I haven't made that determination yet. But that's the direction I'm leaning in.
Louie D, what is the most interesting play for you?
Okay, well, you've seen me riding the Minnesota Twins under. I didn't give it to you yesterday, but I did give you the winner with the Dodgers game over. So, but I'm going to have to run back right to them Twins under. It went under yesterday, and I feel like I've missed an opportunity with that. I don't want to feel like I'm going to miss that opportunity here today. I think the pitching matchup, you got Dobnak is 3-6 to the under this year. Dunning 1-2 to the under. I mean, not super long numbers or a big sample size to work with, but at least they're trending towards the under. But Minnesota is ridiculously trending towards the under. So that would be my most interesting play. But guys, before you go back to Brad real quick, the most interesting play, that doesn't mean that's our game of the day. Okay, our games of the day are reserved for our clients. And it's not going to work if we're giving you our best plays out here and charging our clients for the same stuff. So we're trying to educate. Go ahead. Okay. We're trying to educate you, give you some ideas, and give you some leans. So to expect that you got the best stuff every day is going to be wrong. Okay. Am I going to throw some of my best stuff in there and not tell you it's my best stuff? Absolutely. I am going to keep you guessing. So, because we do need you as clients. Nobody's paying this but me, guys. And we're doing what we can to get you the information. So, help support us. Simple as that. We'll educate you. We'll make you smarter, better. We're not going to be sponsored by the bookie. If you look at these other shows, the bookie is footing the bill. Think about that for a second, guys. All right, back to you, Brad.
If I could add in something to that, yeah. I mean,
Yes.
you go to our YouTube page, which on this show is Louie Diamond, right, Louie, if I'm not mistaken, and give us a like. It at least shows us that you're enjoying the show, and also that it's a small token of appreciation. It makes us happy, and it doesn't take a lot to make us happy. Look, we're trying to give you the best information possible on a daily basis to make you happy. So, in turn, that's it.
That's it. Just some likes, guys.
That's it.
Give us the likes. Spread the show out there. We'll give you the information. And, if you need that extra helping hand, we're going to be there. And we're not going to be beating you over the head and promising you the moon. And most of you guys are looking for the moon. Stop looking for that. And things will work out a lot better much sooner. Go ahead, Brad.
Ross, do you know what would make me happy? To get Dell Warfield's most interesting play of the day.
Me too.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, so for my most interesting play of the day today is one that we already talked about too, the Royals versus Tigers. I love that game going under today. As for what you guys just said too, definitely the likes kind of keep us motivated. So if you guys can share, comment, like it. We're on Facebook. I usually share it every single day. So give it a like there, and check out Louie's YouTube at Louie Diamond.
Coming up next, Tony Cusumano, the man on the street. He's somewhere. Where is he? What is he doing? We'll find out next. Plus, we have a special guest coming up. That's Bettor Center Live on LouieDiamond.com and YouTube at Louie Diamond. Brad Stein here live from Las Vegas. Join us daily for Bettor Center Live with our professional handicappers, where you get sports information you can bet on. Stop gambling, start winning. Bettor Center Live. Welcome back to Bettor Center Live at Louie Diamond, also YouTube at Louie Diamond. Check out LouieDiamond.com, of course, but we're going to go to Tony Cusumano, the man on the street. I think he's in the great state of Texas, but I may be wrong. Tony C., take it away.
Good morning, Brad. Good morning, crew. Yes, I am back in the Lone Star State. I'm in Denton, Texas, about 40 miles north of Dallas-Fort Worth here. And I'm at the home turf of the University of North Texas Mean Green. As you can see in the background here, we've got a closed practice behind me. They're getting ready. They're prepping. They're working hard for the next opponent coming in is SMU Mustangs. Quick notes about both of these teams. First of all, the home team, University of North Texas Mean Green. I tell you what, they beat a very tough Division II school in Houston Baptist. Very tough Division II school, but they did beat them handedly, and they put some numbers up on the board, 57 total points to be exact. As far as the SMU Mustangs, 2 weeks ago, as you remember, you saw me there at Texas State as they had faced the Bobcats 2 weeks ago. Last week, they kind of had somewhat of a bye week. Their game last week was canceled against the inner-city rival Texas Christian University, so we have no winner this year. All of you, I'm sure you were dying to know who would have won the Iron Skillet. That was the Iron Skillet game, TCU, SMU every year. So we have no winner for this year because of the coronavirus. So anyway, SMU comes to town here, or comes 40 miles north. To me, this is a home game for SMU. We're 40 miles north. You're going to see some SMU fans in the stands. They're 14-point favorites. I think they got the kinks out. They got the clinks and the clacks out down at down in San Marcos at Texas State. They had another week off to regroup since they didn't play last week against TCU. I think you'll see like I said, you'll see a well-oiled machine here in week 2. They got their first contact game out of the way. I see them handily covering the spread at -14. As far as the total goes, at 69.5, 70. On that end of it, guys, I'm going to leave that alone for the simple reason is I don't know which University of North Texas team is going to show up for 2 reasons. Reason number one is they beat a Division II school. Reason number 2, a scandal erupted over the weekend here, or late last week. The quarterback coach for the University of North Texas Mean Green was let go. His name is, I believe, Tate Wallace, something involving improper student-teacher relations, so he was released from his duties here. That's all the information I have, but I'm going to throw it back to you guys in the studio from Denton, Texas. I really do like SMU to cover the 14 here. Brad and the crew, Louie Bag of Diamonds, Dell, tell me what you think. I throw it back to you guys at the studio. Take it away.
Thank you, Tony Cusumano, the Mean Green, North Texas. Welcome back to Bettor Center Live at LouieDiamond.com, also YouTube at Louie Diamond. We are going to stay with our 3 guys, Dell, Ross, and Mr. Louie Bag of Diamonds. We're going to move ahead to the next game, which is game number 4. We're going to say Major League Baseball. We have the Mets and Phillies. I know Mets and Phillies doesn't sound hot, but it is hot. Mets -105, over under came in at 9.5. Porcello and Arrieta are on the line. Louie D, anything?
You know what? I am going to throw you a curveball on this one, Brad, because I really don't have much on this game. I know I gave it to you on the schedule. I was assuming others had something on this game, but I want to touch on what Tony was touching about on the SMU game right now. Mustangs covered 4 out of the last 5 against North Texas, so they do have that edge going in. Other than that, they haven't really been a stellar road team. So hopefully Tony's got a nice little vibe on them being a home game for him, because SMU on the road has been 1-4 their last 5 road games, 1-6 their last 7 games overall as a favorite. So this could be a good spot, though, for SMU because of the scandal. Those scandals are nothing to take lightly when they happen. It shatters a team emotionally, and usually it's got them focused on the scandal instead of the game. So I will lean with Tony a little bit, but mostly because of the scandal. Look for those things, guys. All right, back to you, Brett.
Hey, Louie Bag of D's, you probably didn't think I can hit curveballs. Well, I can, and I'm going to throw you a changeup. We're going to stay with SMU North Texas, and we're going to go to Dell Warfield. Dell W, take it away.
Hey there, Brad. So yeah, I actually love this game too. I think it's really better to kind of get it earlier than later, because that total is rising pretty fast. I think it opened up at 66. It's around 70, 70 and a half. I like this game going over actually. Two pretty fast-paced offensive, two pretty explosive offenses. You saw against the last time that Tony, the man on the street, had Texas State. Their game plan was to run the ball, keep the ball away from SMU. I don't think that's going to be North Texas's game plan. I think it's going to be an air raid, both sides of the ball, high scoring game. That total is really high, but it's high for a reason. I respect it and I like it going over. If you are on that 70 and a half, I'll probably buy the hook back down to 70, but I really do like this game over, and I recommend playing it now instead of waiting later in the week.
Oh, Mr. Ross, are you feeling mean green?
I'm feeling the same way that my buddy Dell is. Styles make fights, and both of these teams explosive offenses, but they can't stop a light breeze on defense. So, I could see Shane Buechele, real good quarterback from SMU. SMU 37-24 in their opener against Texas State a couple weeks ago on the road. And as Tony alluded to, they failed to cover that game as a 17-point favorite. So, 1-6 against the spread as a favorite on the road. However, again, the other thing I would look at is what SMU's point total in this game, because I just don't foresee North Texas's defense having any luck in trying to stop this SMU offense. And they scored 37 in that last game, but they very well could have been over 50 if not for some first game jitters and errors on offense. So I agree with Dell on the over. I also would look at what, as it comes close to game time, what SMU's point total would be in this game. And if it's under 50, I would lean towards SMU going over that total against a very porous defense in North Texas.
I agree with both of them.
Very special guest. You agree? Good.
I do. I missed the
guest.
total part.
Yeah. Brad, are you there? We lost Brad.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm here. I'm back. You didn't lose me. I'm back. All right, guys. We're ready to move ahead. We got Louie Diamond's picks. Let's go back to Major League Baseball. I know the game that you want to throw a little curve, but maybe Ross has something to say about the Mets 105 at the Phillies with Porcello and Arrieta on the mound.
I think they'll be with me on this one. Just a hunch, because this line movement doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense in this game. It opened with Philadelphia as a -115 home favorite, and now they're up to +116, despite the fact that most of the money line betting has gone the way of Philadelphia. When I see something like that, it's a head-scratching move. I have to look deeper, and my lean right now would be on the New York Mets with Porcello over the Philadelphia Phillies with Arrieta. Arrieta, talk about a pitcher who's really declined. You're talking about a pitcher that was like a Cy Young winner like 3 years ago, and he's really struggled this year. So small lean here on the road favorite New York Mets over the Philadelphia Phillies.
Okay, Del W.
too much into this game, but that's exactly what I look for in games too. Just like Ross said, you have that crazy reverse line movement with all the action coming on the Phillies. I think Mets is a really good play here. I haven't really looked at it, so I can't really make a pick on it. But I mean, I definitely agree with everything that Ross said. These are two pitchers that used to be amazing, and they're both having really bad years. But I do like that movement, and I do lean Mets.
All right, thank you. Let's move to game number 7. The Twins at the White Sox, minus 120, 9.5 over under. Ross, what are your thoughts?
Tough call here. I had the over in the Minnesota game yesterday, and between the two teams, they left over 20 men on base. So not an excuse because it was 3-1 the final score in a total 9. Dobnik got off to a great start, guys, and he's really tailed off last 3 or 4 starts. And Dunning has quietly done a nice job for the White Sox. Minnesota, very good at home, pretty average on the road. And the White Sox, the opposite, real good on the road and pretty average at home. But, again, in a tough call here, I would probably take the better starting pitcher at home. And right now, anyway, the better starting pitcher, and Dunning over Dobnik, and the White Sox at a very reasonable price of minus 129.
Lou, any diamonds on this game?
I got to believe that, Minnesota and the White Sox kind of already gave it out. I am on the under without a doubt in this play. But Twins are 21-9 the last 30 against the White Sox. They lose last night, and 6-2 at Chicago. So they really have dominated the series. And so I got to just look for a bounce back for Minnesota. But once again, I see the unders to play here.
All right, Dell W.
Yep, so I was also on the over yesterday for this game, which lost. But kind of like that zigzag type of mindset that when we look into these games. You had 2 pretty good pitchers yesterday in Berrios and Cease, and then you have 2 pitchers that a lot of people may not know who they are. I'm sure they can see the ERAs and the records, but not really big name pitchers. But you have that total at 9.5. I like this game going under. I'm going to be agreeing with Louie Bag of Diamonds here. I do like this game going under. There are so many people left on base. That game should have went way over yesterday. I think people are going to be chasing that over. I think action is going to be coming on that over. And so we're going under. I like this under today.
All right, Ross, Dell, Louie. We have a very special guest. His name is Chip Chirimbes, and he's joining Bettor Center Live right
Chipper.
now. Chip Chirimbes.
Everybody bow.
Hey, we can
Everybody
start.
bow.
What up, Chip?
The diva has arrived. Yeah.
Finally, the eye candy is here.
What was that?
Otherwise known as, does anybody agree with me on this? Is there a little resemblance to Al Michaels when you look at Chip Chirimbes?
Oh,
Oh,
a little
wow,
bit.
yeah.
I wish I had.
It's his doppelganger.
Well,
So
Chip, welcome to
having
the
a tough
show. What
time
did you
hearing
learn
him,
from
guys.
yesterday?
yesterday I ended up, my top play ended up being Denver, so I eked that out very luckily, and I went 2-1 in the baseball yesterday. My most interesting play of the day got beat, but that's a day in a life in this business. Nobody wins every day, but we try. That's for sure.
All right, guys, the most interesting play of the day, and since our guest is here now, Chip Chirimbes, what is your most interesting play of the day?
Well, again, I have a situation where I just can't believe. I think the odds makers like to make you or believe that they put out the wrong team favored, but I don't think they make mistakes like that. We have the lowly Mets, 5 games under 500, going to Philadelphia. They're favored on the road against Arrieta, former Cy Young Award winner, and they do have Rick Porcello going, and he's been terrible. But so is Arrieta. But the fact that the Mets are favored at Philadelphia really it draws my attention. I said, there's something going on here. Philadelphia has 5 starters that are injured and out of the lineup, including their big-time catcher, Real Muto, who I think is a really good player. But so I'm taking the Mets. I think the Mets are to play here. The fact that they come up favored, the lowly Mets favored on the road. I have New York Mets here behind Porcello.
Chip, is your website better late than never, or is it still chipwins.com?
It's chipwins.com. And, sometimes you might be late getting there as well as my selections. But I have to get them up one way or another. And time is a killer. So I'm here now, though.
El Michaels.
All right,
in real time.
Michaels. Yeah, he wish he had his pocketbook. Most interesting play of the day. Ross, who is it?
Well, I already gave you the San Diego and the San Diego game under. And again, you asked me about the Mets and Philly, and I concur with Chip and pretty much echoed the same statements that Chip just said. It's a real head scratcher. Two former Cy Young winners having terrible years, but why Philadelphia opened at minus 115 and plus they're now plus 116, as Chip would allude to as the lowly Mets, certainly speaks volumes to me. And for that reason alone, I don't know how interesting that is, but I agree with Chip on this play. I'm going to lean toward the Mets here at minus 128 on the road at Philadelphia.
Well, it's interesting to me. I'm a Mets fan. Let's go to Louie Bag of Diamonds, your most interesting play of the day.
I got to tell you, Ross, if there's anything that fits the most interesting play of the day, I think it is them New York Mets, because it is very interesting that this line has moved so dramatically. To me, it doesn't mean it's the lock, it's your best bet you've ever had, but you know what? That's pretty damn interesting. And I would agree with you guys that, it's very interesting. Why did the Mets get steamed like that? Very interesting. But that being said, I'm going to give you guys a second game because I'm just in a good mood. How's that? So, and I want you to cash the ticket. Now, I gave you the under with the Heat and the Celtics. I gave you the under with the Clippers and the Nuggets. And I gave you the under with Minnesota and the White Sox. So is it time for me to give you an over? No. I'm going to give you an under. I'm going to give you another under. And it's going to be a low-scoring day for everybody here today. So, and it is going to be with Cleveland and the Cubbies under the 8.5. I know we got a little bit of a steam on the over. I know we got a touch of the wind. So, but I am still believing that it's an interesting play to ride on the Cleveland under. So we'll be doing that again today.
Oh, Mr. Warfield, round number 2. Most interesting play of the day is who?
All right, so probably the most interesting by far, everyone's talking about it, has to be the Mets. You have these Yankee fans, Chip and Ross. They are not playing their Yankees. They're playing the Blue Jays. And they're betting on the Mets today. Hopefully we could convert them from Yankee fans to Mets fans today.
Not happy. Not happy.
So I have the Yankees
I do like the
today,
Mets as well. I think Mets is going to be a really good play today.
All right, guys. Well, thank you, Louie, Chip, Dell, and Ross. Special thanks to Eugene, our technical director and supervisor, Spotlight Films. If you don't play boys, you won't win. Also, girls, don't forget to check out Bettor Center Live every day, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on LouieDiamond.com. Also, YouTube at Louie Diamond. I'm Brad. I'm your host. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.